valuable, these niggas will get bored of. Everything you have to going off of to exploit you. Naked pictures all up on the gram, they record you. And daddy, you'll be forced to see it all, it's like torture. Once that moment happens, the judge will make his office. Cause it's gonna be a murder on my hands, manslaughter. I am not a gangster, I am just a man that lives by his principles, so don't get out of hand. Judge a book by its cover, now you like damn. Never fold, never ran, never am, understand? My mother had me, but my father gave me order. Mommy brought the clothes, but daddy gave me aura. You can't dig up dirt on your explorer. And these the things I gotta teach my daughter. Finish school, go to college, I'll applaud you. Don't be a stripper, be a doctor or a lawyer. You can't pay for love, they can't afford you. And then you'll have the joy of telling them they never brought you. I'd rather be a boss than an employer. And I've been on my bull like a Hoya. Follow nobody, you let them join you. And these the dark, twisted thoughts you have with paranoia. I am not a gangster, I am just a man that lives. My mother had me, but my father gave me order. Mommy brought the clothes, but daddy gave me aura. You can't dig up dirt on your explorer. And these the things I gotta teach my daughter. I gotta teach you all the things you never thought of. Don't judge a man off his M's, but off his quarters. Your body's valuable, these niggas will get bored of. Everything you have to going off of to exploit you. Naked pictures all up on the gram, they'll record you. And daddy, you'll be forced to see it all, it's like torture. Once that moment happens, the judge will make his office. Cause it's gonna be a murder on my hands, manslaughter. I am not a gangster, I am just a man that lives by his principles, so don't get out of hand. Judge a book by its cover, now you like damn. Never fold, never ran, never am, understand? My mother had me, but my father gave me order. Mommy brought the clothes, but daddy gave me aura. You can't dig up dirt on your explorer. And these the things I gotta teach my daughter.
Yo, see, I swear, I don't understand. I don't know why we keep having this conversation. I don't know why the Clippers keep playing with the Lakers. I don't know why Paul George got the nerve, the audacity to ever be talking. I saw a conversation today that involved Paul George, and I almost threw up in my mouth. Why are we praising Paul George, and where does he come off having any type of credentials to be disrespectful to the Lakers? Good seven in the building. Salute, man. Peace, everybody. Welcome back to the Best of Seven Sports Talk, man. I'm Seven Mitchell, man. Salute to everybody. We got to talk, man, because I just read something that kind of blew my mind, and this was coming from Jared Dudley. Jared Dudley won a championship with the Los Angeles Lakers. He tapped in a little bit with some disrespect that Paul George and some of the Clippers had displayed last year, and the Lakers wasn't tolerating this. So check this out. Now, Jared Dudley, in his new book, he had revealed that the Lakers was primed for the Battle of LA last year when the Clippers didn't make it, losing to the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs. So Jared Dudley, in his book, he goes on to say, we hear some of the guys from the Clippers talking about how they're the team to beat in LA. He said, it's fine if Kawhi Leonard says stuff like that. He's a defending champion. We don't trip if someone like Patrick Beverly is talking trash. That's how he feeds his family. We get it. We respect the hustle. This is what Jared Dudley say. But we thought it was disrespectful for Paul George, who hasn't won, to put himself on a level of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. That motivated us to want to play them. Now, me personally, I don't think that they needed any motivation. All the hype that they did with the Clippers last year from the first game of the season, even down to the commercial with the little crown keychain and all that the Kawhi had going on with his little promotion deal and all that. You know, it came back to bite him. It came back to bite them. The Clippers, to me, was never a threat. But I'm tripping on how Paul George was so disrespectful. Now, let me see if I can get his exact quotes. So Paul George, in an interview with NBA TV during the Clippers media day last season, he answered a reporter's question wondering if he and Kawhi were the top duo in the league by saying this. This is what Paul George had the nerve to say to the media when asked if him and Kawhi was the top two or the top duo in the league. I think so. When you look at two guys that play on both ends, two guys that can go and get a basket, two guys that can stop you from getting a basket, elite on both ends, I don't see how you can be that. That is crazy. Now, mind you, the Denver Nuggets clearly last year, found a way to dismantle everything that Paul George was saying. Being down 3-1 in the playoffs, coming back and knocking him off in the game 7. These are your boys, Mike. These are your boys. You're the biggest Clippers fan that I know. These are your guys with the nerve to talk trash. Now, Paul George is having an excellent regular season this year. I'll give him his props somewhat for that. But we all know Paul George need to be drug tested. We know he don't have no right running his mouth about the team across the hall.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
And Paul George this is your guy, Mike. This is your guy. Paul George is probably one of the worst stars when it comes to the playoffs. What has this man done? He think him and Kawhi are the best duo because of what they do on both ends of the floor. You know how many times this year the Clippers have given up 120, 130, 140 something points? They just lost to Brooklyn, giving up 120 something. Kyrie going off. KD going off. James Harden another triple double. How does that happen when you got Kawhi and Paul George on the court? That can't happen. Now Patrick Beverley did not play last night, but that is pathetic. This is your year. Mike, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. The phone lines is open. If you want to call up, man, and speak your piece, you know the lines is always open. You see the phone number at the bottom, 929-436-2866. It's the best of 7 Sports Talk, man. I don't really know what you're talking about. This is your year to do what? Paul George is soft. That's a fact. When it's crunch time, when it counts the most. I don't want to, certain people in the NBA, I don't really want to have that deep of conversations with when we're talking about the regular season. James Harden is another one. Don't talk to me about how great James Harden is until we get into the playoffs. Paul George, man, is another. He has not been the Paul George that people have put him on this pedestal to be since Indiana. Played a couple years in OKC. Now he chasing with LA with the Clippers. Nah. Okay, you tied up. Ain't no problem. I'm just letting everybody know the phone lines is open. You lucky, Mike. I'm telling you. Because if you would have called up here with that BS tonight, man, I'm telling you, I would have had to go savage on you because you supposed to have confidence in your team. Talk your talk. Talk your trash. I'm not mad at that. But let's be clear. You have nothing on LeBron and Anthony Davis. Nothing. Bugged out. They your Clippers. The team that's in the basement. Unbelievable. Paul George need to be drug tested.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
You see this, Mike? This is a real king right here, Mike. Yeah, I'm going to start going live way more, man. It's been a minute since I went live and started doing the sports show, but I'm definitely going to get back into the groove of things, man. That's my fault. I'm actually live streaming on a couple different platforms, so give me a second. But, man, please, y'all got to know. My guys ain't nothing to play with. My guys is nothing to play with. What I think about Giannis Magnif, Giannis is another one. Giannis is another one. Giannis is another one. I don't care to hear about MVPs. I don't care to hear about how much potential this guy got. First of all, Giannis, and he has folded. He is a superstar that has folded in the playoffs. Can't hit a jump shot. They letting him shoot the ball. He airballing threes. He airballing 18-footers. So he's another person. I'm glad you brought him up. I'm not sold on him at all. He can't shoot. He can't shoot. He's a pretty good defender, but they're going to need more than that. They're going to need way more than that. So, no, I'm not sold on him. That's just the worst. And Brooklyn already, did Brooklyn beat Milwaukee already twice this year? No. It's a handful of these guys that I don't want to talk about until we get to the playoffs. CP3, he's another one. You know, now I'm happy that Chris Paul, he doing this thing in Phoenix. So I am keeping my eye on Chris Paul right now because of how sorry the Suns were. They look real good. I think they won. Did they win last night? I think I saw Devin Booker hit a game-winning three. They gelling real well in Phoenix. You think Kyrie is the cancer? Okay, you think Kyrie is a cancer to the team in the long run? I mean, you could be right. You could be right. But this is the thing about that team that you're talking about. When it comes to James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. My problem with these guys, and it will be the problem until June, if they make it that far, is they do not play no defense, Magnif. They do not play any defense. Now, the only way I really can honestly seeing them lose is if 2 or 3 of these guys have an off night the same night. If 2 of these guys are having an off night, or if all 3 of them are having a kind of off night, then you got a shot. If these guys are on, regardless of their defense, you're going to have to put up 120-something, 130 points. CP3 is another one that got to stay healthy. That's a fact. That's a fact, Good Seven. That's a fact. He definitely got to stay healthy. That's another thing. But, you know, these guys don't play defense. Brooklyn. And you took the words right out my mouth, Good Seven. Their bench is suspect. They gonna need some shooters. They don't have any rim protection. The defensive presence that they had in Jared Allen, also in Levert, you know, they don't have that defensive presence like that. I think they still got DeAndre Jordan, but you know, he's just a glimpse of what we projected him to be. I'm not going to lie. Watching Kyrie, KD, and James Harden last night, it did concern me a little bit because they was all on. And I'm like, yo, if they on like that, I don't know any team that's going to be able to beat them. Because I'm going to keep it real. The Lakers, even with Anthony Davis, in my opinion, has not been playing that great this year. I mean, he's struggling from there's certain parts of Anthony Davis's game that he's struggling in that he wasn't struggling last year. Like from the free throw line. You know, Anthony Davis was like, I might be over-exaggerating by saying like 91% last year, but he was a great free throw shooter last year, especially in the clutch. And we're not seeing that from him. So, you know, when it comes to the Lakers, I feel like because the Lakers right now probably have the best defense. playing the best defense in the league. So with that being said, I do think the Lakers got a shot, but it's going to be based upon LeBron. And I'm wondering what LeBron James is thinking when we talk about the Brooklyn Nets. Because, LeBron, when he joined Miami, him, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh, they lost the first season. So I wonder, is LeBron seeing anything early that could, he could use if he has to meet up with these guys? I think chemistry, like I said, could be a problem. Who going to take the last shot at the end if the game is close? People don't really care right now because they think every game is going to be a blowout. But Steve Nash is a first-year coach. We don't know how much say Steve Nash is going to have when it comes to clutch time. Steve Nash hasn't won anything he won the 2 MVPs, but some people felt like he shouldn't even have won that. So Steve Nash is kind of unproven. Who knows how much these guys are going to listen to him when it comes down to it? Because Kyrie got hardware. KD got hardware. And KD and James Harden, they got MVPs as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this thing match up with the Brooklyn Nets when they come to the end of the season in the playoffs. And mind you, they don't have any draft picks to really change their squad or upgrade their squad before the All-Star break. Unless somebody's going to sign with Brooklyn for a minimum contract just to play with them, they're not going to get a lot of people to come play with them. They gave pretty much all their draft picks up to Houston for the trade for Harden. So they're stuck. The Lakers need a better center. I'm disappointed in Marc Gasol, man. I'm disappointed in Marc Gasol. I thought Marc Gasol would give us a little bit more presence. Montrez is doing well, but Montrez, I never was like a big fan of Montrez. The fact that we lost both JaVale and Dwight really hurt. I don't know how they didn't find a way to keep Dwight. I see Dwight was chasing the money, but Dwight's stupid because Dwight not going to win nothing in Philly. So Dwight, to me, was better off staying in L.A. But, I think you're right, man. The Lakers is going to definitely miss that presence inside. But the only good thing about that, a lot of the good teams in the West, they do play small ball. Now, Houston got Boogie Cousins, but they still might play a little bit of small ball. You got Big Joker in Denver. That's going to be a problem. Portland can kind of play a little small ball, kind of, sort of. They not that big. Utah, they got Rudy Gobert. We know the Clippers can kind of play small ball. So I don't know how much height and rim protection is going to hurt the Lakers this year once we get down to it. But, I think you definitely right, Magn. If it definitely could have helped. I don't know how they let them guys go like that. If they can get Andre Drummond, see, and I don't know what the Lakers' money looking like. LeBron is already locked up. AD is locked up. They might got some money to play with. But is Andre Drummond mentally in a place where as though he's going to be willing to take less money to get the championship? Sometimes with a lot of NBA players, like it takes them like 10 to 12 years of chasing the bag to realize, okay, I'll take a back seat to the endorsements, to all the fame and notoriety just to get a ring because I want to win one. I don't know if Drummond is at that point yet, or if he feel like he can still go somewhere else and be, a dominant figure and take the team somewhere. Because they got Jared Allen and him in Cleveland. They can't work together. They can't work together. Drummond is definitely flat-footed. He's definitely flat-footed. But, he can be clutch. You know what I mean? He can be clutch. I'm not going to sleep on him. He can be clutch. But tomorrow, man, I'm definitely going to be coming back with some more. I just wanted to chop it up. I was looking at that story about Jared Dudley and that book that he had wrote after the Lakers had won the championship and how they was really amped up for playing the Clippers because of all the disrespectful stuff that, they were saying and the stuff that Paul George was saying. Just ridiculous. Paul George really has no place at all to be talking. Crazy. They got his name in the MVP conversation right now. Like I said, he doing good this year. early for now. But we've never questioned PG's ability or his talent. We already know Paul George is fire. What do you do in the playoffs? When he was with Indiana, you know, he just kept running into LeBron in Miami. I don't fault him for that, but he was playing great. He went to OKC and Westbrook like he just was terrible to me. Dame gave him the business. Now he chasing Kawhi. Then they choked last year. No. You think the money gonna fall in whose lap? If he come back, be a big man in LA and win a championship, he's a made man. Who we talking about? As far as a big man, Kuzma for Jared Allen. Damn. Now let me see. So Jared Allen's in Cleveland. Kuzma. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. You mean Drummond for either one of those guys? Because Kuzma played a 4. And even though Kevin Love is committed to Cleveland, we know Kevin Love has been hurt. Matter of fact, Kevin Love, he just resumed activities today, reports from ESPN, but they don't have an actual set time that he's going to be coming back. You know, he's continuing to recover from that right calf strain that he has suffered at the start of the season. Kevin Love haven't played since December the 27th of last year. So I could definitely see that the Lakers dealing with Cleveland, getting Kyle Kuzma over there because that helps Kevin Love's position. Kuzma will shoot the ball. He'll be in Cleveland, so he'll have less pressure. He'll have a championship, so he'll bring some cachet over there. He's young. And then on the flip side, you bring Drummond or Jared Allen into the mix with the Lakers. That gives you rim protection. They both kind of sort of young a little bit. Like you can see them guys being there for at least 2-3 years. I like that. That's a move. That's definitely a fire move. Cleveland and LA. You got to be looking out for that. No doubt. But I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Salute to everybody that was in the chat, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button for me one time. Definitely appreciate it. Just a quick reminder, as y'all can see, we got the Best of 7 Sports Talk merchandise. It's available right now, man. Links are in the description box. Go to the link. Check out the merchandise we got, man. Couple dope things. I got the face mask. I just got my face mask. Came in the mail. I love the material. I'm about to order some more colors and all that. So the merchandise is up and available. Salute to my guys, Good 7 and Magnus, man. Y'all made some dope points when it came down to these topics. I got to do my homework, but, you know, Paul George is out of line. Paul George is definitely out of line, out of pocket. He has no need to be talking about anything other than his team and these guys not doing. Talk about Kawhi not doing load management this year like he did last year. Other than that, Paul George got to keep his mouth shut.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
God damn it. It's the Best of 7 Sports Talk, man. I'm 7 Mitchell, man. Y'all have a great night. Y'all stay safe, and I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow.